Last week, a client said to me, "Amy, you always have the best tips." And it got me thinking, most people never hear these strategies unless they're sitting inside a nutrition counseling session. So today I'm sharing some of my clients' favorites with you. These are the exact things I teach my clients, the strategies that help them feel better, gain energy, and actually make nutrition work in their real lives. This is not trendy advice, it's not extreme, and it's definitely not clickbait. It's what actually works because I see it work with the lovely people I work with every single week. And here's the thing, one of these tips may completely shift how you think about healthy eating. Just last week, I had a client tell me one of my tips finally made everything click for them. And no, it's not about eating more kale or cutting out carbs. Hey there, I'm Amy Lawson, a registered dietitian and founder of Thrive Nutrition RDN. Here on my channel, I am all about sharing tasty and good for you recipes, busting nutrition myths, and helping you better your health through good nutrition. Everything I'm sharing today comes from years inside nutrition counseling sessions, seeing what actually clicks for real people with busy schedules, families, careers, and full lives. So let's go. Tip number 1, 90% of eating well comes down to planning and prepping. I had a client who told me she felt like she was failing at healthy eating. She was grabbing takeout 4 nights a week, exhausted, spending money she didn't want to spend on food that wasn't making her feel good. Want to know what changed everything? It wasn't a new diet. It was 1 hour on Sunday. She said, "Amy, when I plan and prep on the weekends, my whole week just flows. I feel good. I'm fueled. I have less cravings, more energy. And when I skip it, my entire week is thrown off." And that's the truth. Here's what I see in my practice. This is the pattern with almost every single client. When we work together, this is the first foundation we build. I mean, why is it that to succeed financially, we know we need a budget plan, but for nutrition, we try to wing it without a plan? And that just never works. Planning and prepping makes all the difference, and it doesn't have to take over your entire Sunday. This is the foundation that everything else builds on. Tip number 2, you need systems, not just goals. Now here's where it gets interesting, and this is what separates people who actually follow through from people who stay stuck. Goals without systems are just wishes. One of my clients wanted to start walking after work, but she kept talking herself out of it when she got home. So we set up a dead simple system. She started putting her walking shoes right by the front door so that when she came home from work, she changed her shoes and she could go right out. That one tiny change, it made all the difference. She walks now almost every single day. Set your environment up for success. Keep your cutting board out on your counter so there's less friction when it's time to cook. Chop your veggies as soon as you get home from the grocery store. Set your workout clothes the night before. I totally do that one. It helps. These small systems make healthy choices easier, and that's what actually leads to progress. I mean, no business can succeed without systems, so aiming for goals without systems is just not going to lead to success. And here's the thing I tell all my clients. We can't do everything all at once.
It's just everything all at once.
Meet yourself where you are. Be strategic. The goal is to build habits that eventually become just the way you live and just the way you eat. Tip 3, keep track of your meal plans. Now here's something my clients admit to me all the time. Meal planning feels overwhelming. It feels draining, and frankly, they don't like it.
What are the biggest challenges for you?
It's trying to figure out what to cook for dinner. Nightly, just night after night. What is it going to be tonight?
So here's one of my favorite tips. When you meal plan, make sure you save it. You put all that effort in, we want to be able to go back to it. So put it in a notebook, use a notes app on your phone, use an old school planner. I like that a lot. Then you can look back 2 months from now when you're meal planning for the week and you just have no energy and your past self has already done the work for you. One of my clients was literally ripping out her meal plans for the week each week and throwing them away. So when I shared this tip with her, she was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, duh, this makes so much sense." You're not starting from scratch every single week wondering, what do I make for dinner? We are reducing friction when creating the next meal plan. This tiny habit saves so much mental energy. And hey, real quick, hit that subscribe button, hit like, and share this video with someone who could use some special RD tips. I appreciate every single one of you out there. Your support helps me continue creating content that cuts through the noise and truly helps you care for your health. And that's what I'm here for. Tip 4, move for 5 minutes after a meal. This one is backed by research and it takes literally 5 minutes.
Literally, it was literally just a small calzone.
Research shows that just 5 minutes of movement after eating impacts your blood sugar in a positive way. It helps it rise gradually instead of spiking. And here's what I tell my clients in sessions. It also improves digestion. So many of them have commented on this when they actually try it. And so many have come to me in the next session to tell me that they felt better, digestion improved, and actually really liked moving after a meal. Now, most people think that they need a 30-minute walk. You really don't. This could be a walk around your neighborhood. It could be running the stick vacuum around your house. I have one client who said, okay, I'm going to do a dance party with my kids in the living room after dinner. For 5 minutes, and it makes a major, meaningful impact. Space your protein throughout the day. Okay, this one is simple, but it blew one of my clients' minds just last week. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people trying to cram most of their protein in at dinner, and that just doesn't work. In my sessions, we take your total daily protein goal and break it down by meal and 1 or 2 snacks depending on your lifestyle. Now, a common target is around 30 grams per meal, but this depends on you and your goals. At minimum, aim for at least 20 grams of protein at breakfast. And then we're setting ourselves up for success for the whole day. Here's a simple example and a little bonus tip I shared with one of my clients. You can absolutely eat scrambled eggs for lunch. 3 eggs with a little milk, add in some veggies, a piece of sourdough toast, then maybe a side of Greek yogurt, and you've got a solid protein-packed lunch. This was a revelation to my client. She was literally like, oh my gosh, duh, I can eat eggs at lunch. After that, she literally said, you have the best tips. To me, this sounded so simple, but sometimes it's the simple things that can be the most impactful that no one ever tells you. Prep with a purpose in 45 minutes to an hour. Now let's circle back to that planning and prepping we talked about because I want you to know exactly how to make it work. Most people think meal prep means spending 3 to 4 hours in the kitchen on a Sunday. And that is a total slog. That's not sustainable, and frankly, you don't need it. Many of my clients have avoided meal prep entirely because it just sounds too darn daunting. But 45 minutes to an hour, that's the sweet spot. That's my favorite. And it's a relief to most people when they hear this. In that 45 minutes to an hour, you can accomplish a lot. You can set yourself up for success for the week, but you also didn't drown yourself in meal prep and just feel exhausted for your entire Sunday. So prep ingredients with a purpose. Hard boil some eggs, make some energy bites, overnight oats, marinate some proteins. That's all you need, and that moves you forward. This is low-key meal prep for 45 minutes. It encourages your healthy habits during the week, reduces friction, and reduces decision fatigue on what the heck to eat or to snack on. I'm telling you, having these little things prepped is a breath of fresh air during your week, and it makes the good for you decisions the easy ones. If you want more of this, a personalized plan that's just for you, I work with my clients one-on-one inside my nutrition counseling and meal planning programs. We focus on realistic strategies, exactly like the ones we're talking about today. No extremes, no fads, just real food, real facts, and real balance. And who knows, you might be the one to get my next best tip in our session. Right now, I still have $41 off my packages through March 31st. You can scan the QR code here on the screen or use the link below to learn more. Tip 7, build meals that fuel you, not frustrate you. Here's something most people never hear in casual nutrition advice, and it's one of my favorite things to teach my clients. Instead of obsessing over perfect meal plans, rigid rules, or some Instagram-worthy food, focus on building your meals around protein, fiber, and color. Why? Because these 3 simple pillars cover your energy, satiety, and nutrients all in one shot. Protein keeps you full and supports your muscles. Fiber keeps your digestion on track and helps regulate your hunger. And then color, fruits, veggies pack vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants your body actually needs. One of the women I work with told me, I thought I was eating healthy, but then I started adding more fiber, beans, veggies, and a little more protein at every meal, and my energy stuck around until dinner. And here's the kicker. Add before you subtract. Don't start cutting things out. Add in the good stuff first. More protein, more fiber, more plants. Once you have that foundation, then you tweak portions, really focus on limiting processed foods, or adjust your treats. This tip might feel small, but it will surprise you. Your meals become satisfying, your energy stabilizes, and healthy eating stops feeling like a chore. Tip 8, small changes create big results. This is what my most successful clients all have in common. They didn't try to overhaul everything overnight. This is literally the sign in my office that my clients see during each appointment. Small changes equal big results. In fact, when we try to go from 0 to 1,000 with new healthy habits, we usually end up failing, like 99% of the time. Here's what I tell my clients in our sessions. You need daily small micro habits. 10 air squats while your coffee brews. Counter push-ups while dinner cooks. Swap the sugary creamer for a splash of soy milk. Drop the daily soda and go for sparkling water. Keep your fruit out on the counter where you can see it. And put the crummy snacks out of your line of sight in your pantry. Sugar is considered an accomplice to inflammation. It is working against everything else you're doing. These tiny actions build momentum and confidence, and they actually stick. And here's one of my favorite examples of this. One of my clients started with just 10 air squats every single day. And then that became 20, and then it became 30, and then it became 40 and 50, and then it became strength training intentionally. And we built this habit so that now strength training is just part of her life. Tip 9, focus on getting stronger, not smaller. This is the mindset shift I want you to carry with you. I see so many people come to me focused on getting smaller. And in our sessions, we shift that to getting stronger. Here's what I've learned from working with hundreds of clients. Healthy eating and movement should make you feel strong, capable, energized, not restricted, stronger. When you stop focusing on getting smaller and focus on strength and fuel, the weight starts to move in the way you want it to. Again, we are adding, not subtracting. Forget the diet culture nonsense. I mean, who else can remember the magazines from back in the day with headlines like, "Get skinny in 7 days"? Forget that. We want strength, stability, and longevity. Those small habits increase your strength, not only your muscles, but your mental strength, your endurance, and your confidence. Because strong carries you through life in ways skinny and frail never will. Tip 10, consistency is everything. And this last one, this is what separates my clients who transform their health from the ones who keep starting over. Here's what I tell my clients all the time, and this is what we actually work on together in my programs. We are building habits that become just the way you live and just the way you eat. Not another diet you start and stop and there's this negative feedback loop. Not some short-term plan. I have a client who started by making just one meal at home a week. That's it. Then she added a second. And then she added a 30-minute prep on Sundays. Now she eats at home most of the time, brings her lunch to work every day, and here's what's wild. This flowed into other healthful habits. She started walking on her lunch break. She joined a yoga studio. Her energy has improved, she's lost weight, but the best part, she told me she's more optimistic and happier. That's what consistency does. Research shows it can take 2 to 5 months of consistent practice for healthy behaviors like meal prepping or regular workouts to truly become automatic habits. So if this feels like effort at first, that's totally normal. You're in the process, you are building something that lasts. Consistency is what actually changes your health. And here's a bonus tip. Strength training paired with adequate protein is one of the best investments you can make in your future health. Muscle is protective. It supports your metabolism, bone health, blood sugar, and how well you age. This is about your future independence, and it matters more than most people realize. We lose 3 to 8% of our muscle mass each decade after age 30. So strength and protein aren't just key, they are cornerstones for our health. All right, if this felt different from nutrition advice you usually hear, that's intentional. You just got a peek into the kinds of conversations I have with clients inside a nutrition session. Personalized, realistic, and built for real life. We don't need more extremes, resets, or dumb detoxes. What we actually need is support and an approach that works on busy days, stressful seasons, and our actual life. This is nutrition made realistic. And next, jump on over to my video, Calories Don't Tell the Whole Story, because many people are focusing on the wrong things. It'll give you even more clarity and help you make decisions with confidence, and I will see you over there. Until then, eat well, be well, thrive.